My irrigation system is leaking. Unfortunately, it's right at the input to the valve, so I'm going to have to replace the valve and the pipe around it. After turning off the water and the sprinkler system, I used different colored tape to mark how the valve was currently wired. It is easier to replace a section of pipe that has an elbow in it, so I dug off to one side, found an elbow. I'm cutting just above that and then to the right of the valve. In both cases, you need to leave enough pipe that a coupler will fit onto it. I used a rag to clean the pipe, and because the saw left some burrs, I used a file to lightly file those off. The old valve used slip joints, the new valve uses threaded joints. So I'm using Teflon tape around the coupler, screwing that in by hand, and then giving it a couple extra turns with a wrench. Then we want to dry fit the whole assembly. So we have a coupler attaching to the existing pipe, a short segment of pipe attaching to that, then the valve assembly which already has its couplers attached, then another coupler to the other existing segment of pipe and a short segment of pipe coming out of that, and finally another small piece of pipe that's going to connect to a 90-degree elbow. The trick is that you want the two pieces of pipe that are going to go into the elbow to meet at a point right in the corner. This first piece I had cut was too long, so I went back and cut a shorter piece, and you can see how the corners match up. We're using PVC primer and PVC cement. Use the primer, the purple stuff, on both sections of pipe that you're going to join, and then you go back and put the PVC cement on top of the primer. Push them together with a 1/4 degree turn and hold them for about 30 seconds. When you get to the elbow, double check that your dry fit measurements are still correct. This part of the pipe had squeezed together further than it did during the dry fit, so I needed a slightly longer bit of pipe exiting the valve. And then to do the elbow, prime and cement all those joints at once. Put it on the side of pipe that has the most flex first, and then just bend the PVC pipe and muscle the elbow over the other segment. When you rewire, make sure to use wire nuts that are intended for wet applications. The wires coming out of the valve are reversible. You can wire them to either set of the sprinkler wires. After a couple hours, you can turn the water back on, and then I went back and performed a hand check, checking for any leaks at any of the new joints, and they were all dry.